You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, guys. It's JPA here. We're obviously here to discuss the Old Firm game tomorrow morning. Just before we get to that, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Help the channel on its way to wherever we want to get to. It's obviously up to you guys as far as we take this, but we'll hit that like button as well, and we'll get straight into this video, guys. So yeah, it's the big one. Celtic versus Rangers, arguably the biggest game of the season. And arguably actually the biggest game of the year. This is the first time we've faced Celtic this year because of all the COVID restrictions and stuff like that. Obviously the league got cancelled towards the end of last year. We missed out on 2 Old Firm games then. So it's mid-October and we're now playing the first Old Firm game of the year. It's actually mental to think that. This game is obviously going to be a weird one. It's the first Old Firm game that we've ever had without any fans in the stadium due to obviously COVID. Just a wee word on COVID actually. I've first hand realised what that's like. In the last couple of days I've actually tested positive for the virus, which is really frustrating. I've had to self-isolate and I'm pretty much stuck in the room, even away from my family. I know that's not exactly how it works, but I want to keep myself and my family as safe as I possibly can, so I'm pretty much sitting in my room 24/7 just now. I will obviously see the game tomorrow, but it is really frustrating for me. As I said, it's going to be really interesting with no fans. The one thing is, obviously Celtic fans are not going to have Celtic are not going to have their fans pushing their team on to do better, but the one thing that I think can be a positive from this is the fact that the referee won't be influenced in his decision making. You know what it's like in an Old Firm game. Slightest wee tackle, 60,000 fans on top of you screaming, "Oh, it's a foul, it's a foul," and the referee can be influenced with that. I don't think that's obviously going to be the case here, which we might get a more even balanced game from the referee, hopefully. So as you know, on Old Firm day, form tends to go out the window a little bit, so it's pointless looking at the form. Obviously Celtic won their last game 2-0 against St Johnstone with 2 very late goals. There's no point looking at that performance or indeed that result, because I think it'll be a completely different thing. Obviously a lot of players coming back from international break and what have you, which will affect what happens on the pitch. A lot of people will be... a lot of players obviously have travelled far and wide for the international games, and it's obviously going to affect both sets of players. Looking at Celtic squad, it's hard to really get a picture of it. There's the amount of discussion that's been on, Celtic have got all these COVID issues. They've got players dropping left, right and centre. They've actually only got 2 players that have been officially ruled out of the game, and that's Nir Beiton and El Mohamed or whatever you call them. No exactly first team players. They obviously do come in for their matches and stuff, but I wouldn't consider them first team players. We've yet to know what's happening with Edouard. Apparently he was to self-isolate in Paris for 10 days. It wouldn't be like Celtic to kind of move the goalposts and bring him in early. I never seem to think you get a true reflection of who's actually injured and who's out of the game when it comes to Celtic with these big Old Firm games, because they just lie about it. I don't know what they think they're playing at. I don't know whether they think that we're stupid and we're just, oh, Edouard's not playing, we'll just relax, or Christie's not playing, we'll just relax. We know these players are going to end up playing anyway, so there's no point going on and talking about it. So that's my opinion on that. I think the likes of Christie and Edouard will still be involved in the game, so I'm not going to put that out there that they're out of this tie. In terms of Rangers, our injuries are pretty much the same as they were before the international break. Obviously Katic is the main one, who's still out. Zungu will not play any part in the match. He's quarantined for, I think it's 14 days or something, and he's still got 10 days left, I think, so he'll not be involved in the game whatsoever. Aribo and Roof, they're interesting ones because they're back in training. Gerrard suggesting this might be a game just too quickly for them. but I wouldn't rule it having either of them on the bench. I'd really like to see either one on the bench, particularly Roof. I think might have slight issues with Morelos having come back from all the way from Colombia late yesterday. Not that he arrived late. I'm just saying that obviously it was late by the time he got back, so that might just affect his overall fitness and fatigue and focus on the game. Hopefully that's not the case and he comes out and plays the way that we know that he can play. Obviously it's a big thing for him that he's not scored in this fixture. But having said that, I think it's become more of a thing than it actually is. If you look at the first maybe 4 or 5 games that he played against Celtic, the team were not doing particularly well. We were getting hammered 4 or 5-0. He wasn't even really getting any chances to score goals. It was more about the team being shit, basically. So I know in recent games, maybe say his last maybe 6-7 games, he probably should have scored. But that's another story. But I think it's a wee bit diluted, that, and it's no quite as clean cut as Celtic fans will make you believe. There is obviously those first few games where our Rangers were terrible and we didn't really get many chances to score goals. So that kind of gets taken out of context, if you like. In terms of who's going to start in goal, that's another interesting one, always up for debate. It's obviously your preference who you think will go in. In my opinion, it should be McGregor. McGregor's a big game player. I think there's a slight difference between a good goalkeeper and a great goalkeeper, and I think that's the difference between our 2 goalkeepers. As McLaughlin is obviously a good goalkeeper and he'll do a job for us, but I think McGregor is one of the big game players that can really change it, and has shown that so many times in the past. If you look way back to that Samaras penalty save that went a long way to us winning the league that year, that's the kind of thing he can provide. So it's almost time for my prediction now for this Old Firm game, and I do say Old Firm game. I know a lot of Celtic fans are like, there's a small contingent, in fact pretty much most of them, oh, it's not the Old Firm, Rangers die, blah blah blah. I'm not interested in that. I love my club, I've supported them since I was a wee boy and they're always the same to me. So for me it's still the Old Firm, and there's still that massive rivalry there, and it's still as big a game as ever. I'm going to go really positive for this one. We beat them the last time we played there, 2-1, and I'm going to go for pretty much the same scoreline. I'm going to go Celtic 1, Rangers 2. Goal scorers of Ryan Kent. He's the one there, he's a big game player and he's scored twice already in this fixture. I'm going to go for Tavernier, again, big name player, big game player, and he's obviously on the form of his life and scored last season in the Old Firm as well, so I think he will get a goal. In terms of Morelos, I'm not going to put the pressure on him to score a goal, because every time this Old Firm game comes up, I put the pressure on him, but I tip him to score and he doesn't quite do it, so I'm just going to take the pressure completely off that, and hopefully he just gets on with his game and scores anyway. But let me know what you guys think down below. So I'm just going to wrap this video up, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I know it's probably not the best video I've ever seen. With these international breaks, it kind of ruins your flow doing the videos. You just get into a set routine of doing videos every couple of days, especially when we're playing in Europe, where you have to do a video before the game, after the game, then the game at the weekend, and then the game after the weekend. It just kind of flows really, really well. It feels like this international break has lasted for so long, and I feel like out of practice really. So thanks very much for bearing with me. Just going to go now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully with a great result.